Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Craig Burley, Ali Moreno and Stevie Nicol. The world of football still talking about Barcelona's 7-0 thrashing of Valencia. Marca goes with 7 goals and a funeral. Meanwhile, the Valencia newspapers just lambast the whole association. It is Gary Neville that makes headlines in England. Neville nightmare. And take a look at this. This is what Santi Canizares had to say after the game. Former Valencia goalkeeper. Valencia's defeat is the worst I've known since I can remember. I'm waiting for the resignation of the coach as well as an apology. Sid Lowe in Spain joins us. He was asked, was he, in the press conference afterwards, said if he would resign, and he said no. But surely he is a dead man walking.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that he's going to lose his job. He was asked 3 times. He said no. When he was then asked, well, would you understand it if you would be sacked? He said, next question, please. He was then asked again, the very next question, and he said, look, I've just been quite clear about this. The problem is, from Neville's point of view, that around about the same time as he was talking to the media, the sporting director was talking to the TV company with the rights for the game, and he was pushed on Neville's future, and he was extremely evasive. Now, it's not quite as simple as that, because, of course, the sporting director's been there less time than Neville, only 2 weeks. While he's theoretically Neville's boss, of course, Neville's relationship is more directly with the club's ownership than with the sporting director. So it almost feels like this may not be his decision to make. That said, for the first time, really, the finger of blame is pointing at Neville. Until now, I think there's been so much more of the focus has been on the players or even the club as an institution. Now people are looking at Neville.
As well they should be. He hasn't won a league game for Valencia in 9 matches. Remember, Gary Neville, after he retired from Manchester United, went into the media, was the darling of everyone in the media, took on this challenge at Valencia, and everyone thought this is where he's going to prove himself. Future England coach. Well, he'd make a good England coach because Valencia can't win a game at the moment.
He said that himself, and you know, we talked about it when he took the job. Call it what you want, brave or stupid. But he said himself, I feel I need to go and prove myself. As if, prove yourself to who? You know, it's only in your own mind, and I think, in hindsight, it's a poor decision. It is a poor decision, and I think he's left himself really open to criticism. I'm a great believer in you either do one job or the other. I'm not a great believer in jumping between coaching and punditry. I think, and it's just me, you either pick one and you stick with it, or you pick the other and you stick with it, because I think you leave yourself wide open when you start trying to do both.
You also leave yourself wide open when you come across as essentially taking on a paid internship. Because that's essentially what it seems this is at Valencia, where Gary Neville is trying different things and sorting himself out and working himself through the position of being the manager in a club as big as Valencia. And Valencia is too big of a club to have an intern running the show. That's that simple as that. The other problem that I have is that if you watch that game yesterday, that Valencia team, they quit. They lay down. You guys have mentioned before that teams in the Liga lay down. That team yesterday, they lay down.
So he's caught the bug.
Huh?
He's caught the laying down bug, is he?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, they did in that particular game. And Barcelona, in the end, was just walking around, running around circles, and Valencia had no response. And that lack of commitment, that lack of effort, that lack of attitude gives you a sense as to what the players feel about the manager they have with them.
The outside world will always forgive a defeat if there's some pride in it and you take something from it. The players have given their all. They were either unlucky or something along those lines. But when a team that you've put on the field quits, that squarely has to go on the manager, because his job is to get you ready physically and mentally for the game and up for the fight. That's part of his job. And he obviously either didn't do it or can't do it.
I think the problem for Neville in some respects is, and I don't know if he would be thinking about, I don't know the guy, I don't know if he'd be thinking about walking away, because you're just going to lose face. Then if you get sacked, you're losing face as well. So either way, if this continues, either way it happens, if it's the walking away or the sacking, he's then going to go back to England with his tail between his legs, either to a TV job, or he's certainly going to the Euros in the summer, where he's going to have to go and coach players who will now be looking and saying, well, you know, hold on a minute, right. You've just disappeared to Spain for 6 months and made a total pig's ear of it. And that's the predicament he's put himself in.
Sid, well, 4 minutes into this show, we haven't talked about Barcelona. Was it just the fact that Valencia came up against Barcelona at their very, very best?
A little bit, but I think Craig's hit the nail on the head with that first press conference from Gary Neville. He talked about credibility. He said he needed this for his credibility. And I think he was suggesting, for his credibility as a person, but possibly even as a pundit as well. And if he goes back to pundit, some of that will be undermined unless things improve quickly. Specifically on your question, we are slightly overlooking an absolutely brilliant performance from Barcelona. But the context here is important. In a way, losing 7-0 to Barcelona kind of doesn't matter. I know that sounds ridiculous, but bear with me just for a moment. Losing 7-0 to Barcelona isn't the big scandal. The scandal is, as Stevie was suggesting, the way in which they lost it, the way in which they didn't respond, they didn't show anything, they weren't organised, they weren't committed, and that the context is that this comes after a run of 8 league games without a victory. It's much, much worse for Valencia to have lost 1-0 to Sporting Gijón at home, however unfortunate they were, and they were unfortunate, to lose a first home league game at Mestalla since 2014. In a way is more serious than this, but this comes as, if you like, it's the last straw. It's that moment that you say, whoa, hang on a minute, this is really heading in a bad direction.
Yes, it is going slightly southward, isn't it? Meanwhile, Sid, I want to talk to you about the rumours that were confirmed by Neymar's father, that Manchester United have made a $200 million bid for the Brazilian. That, of course, is his buyout clause. What can you tell us about this?
Well, the reason this has all come to light, of course, is because Neymar and his father have been called before the judge this week on the ongoing investigation into his transfer to Barcelona. And he talked about a number of things. And I must admit, I'm not really sure why these apparently peripheral issues had to come out. But one of the things that came out was Neymar's dad said, well, yes, there's been a bid for 190 million. Subsequently confirmed. I think what he was trying to say was, this isn't all about money. We could go somewhere else and make more money. And I think, in a way, that this is another one that's kind of interesting in context, because we've had confirmed, haven't we, that United chased Gareth Bale and offered more than Real Madrid did. They seem to be chasing anyone who's a big name and offering money to them. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad idea to buy Gareth Bale or to buy Neymar. It clearly is a pretty good idea. But it does kind of feel to me like Man United are starting, or maybe not even starting, to look a little bit desperate.
Well, not only that, I think, you'd have to say from a player's perspective, it'd be absolute cuckoo to leave that front three, that club, with that success, the way they play the game, and the way he's playing it.
Wait.
Is
he not bottling it, staying it?
Huh?
Is he not bottling it, staying at Barcelona, not taking his chance at Manchester United? He's in the shadow of Lionel Messi. He can go to Old Trafford, he could shine, he could be the star.
I don't understand. What's he talking about? He's already at Barcelona. Why do you want to move?
No. You wouldn't. People say that that Neymar wants to move because he wants to be the star and not playing second fiddle to Messi.
Look, Dan, I can't help feeling something here, which is that I can't help feeling, and sorry to interrupt very briefly, that when you reveal clearly an offer from somewhere like that, it's because you're not going. But you want people to know that you could have done should you have wished to. I think if you are going, you don't say so.
The one thing I'll say is that this discussion started because Neymar's father opened his mouth. Neymar's father's credibility isn't exactly very trustworthy. He's in the middle of all the shady dealings of him coming out of Santos and going to Barcelona. So let's get that out there. The other thing I'll say, no chance if you're Neymar, you leave the top of the world where you are right now and go to Manchester United. I don't care what his feelings are in terms of, personally, I want to be the guy. He's all right. Ballon d'Or finalist, he's all right. He'll be just fine.
For a guy who people think wants to be the guy, he's doing a great job hiding it, isn't he? That's an Oscar-worthy performance. Jeez.
And not only that, Stevie, but he's going to be the guy. There's absolutely no doubt that as Messi starts to come towards the end, and yes, he may well have to wait a while, Neymar's already pretty close to being the guy already. And so going to Man United, I don't think will make him any more the player than being at Barcelona in a couple of years' time will.
Just to confirm, the reason we use the phrase bottle it is because Craig said that Guardiola was bottling it by going to City and not Manchester United.
that needed clarification.
I've got a funny feeling that's not going to go away.
Well, when you say stupid things, they can stick,
well,
don't they?
I don't think it's stupid.
You should.
I think it was a valid point.
You do.
You do. Okay. Meanwhile, Sid, I've got to get your... I'm not sure if you've seen this, but this is Jackson Martinez getting the deal done for him going to China. All these people around him, the only one not smiling in this picture is Jackson Martinez. It's a $49 million deal. How surprised the people in Spain that he's going to China, Sid?
Well, of course, first of all, of course, he's the only one not smiling. He's the one who's actually got to go there. The others can just take their commission for it.
Can we say that Sid does not represent everyone at ESPN FC's opinion of China before we get into trouble?
Well, if the choice is between playing professional football in Spain or playing professional football in China, then it's on the face of it, at least, it's a no-brainer. This did come as a surprise. In so much as, but the context, of course, is that the Chinese, both first and second division, have outspent everybody in this winter window. There is a sudden sense of, wow, hang on a minute, what's happening there? And will we start to see the very best players go there? Will they actually start to take a lot of the big talent, or will they only kind of take the ones that we sort of don't want? Although I think Alex Teixeira's gone through today, hasn't he? So we are talking about big names. We're talking about a lot of money, and so it comes as a surprise. It also comes as a little bit of a threat. From Atletico Madrid's point of view, by the way, they were pretty pleased, because the bottom line is that they got it wrong with Jackson. They signed a forward. They've normally done very well with him. They did very badly with him. He hasn't performed, and yet somehow they've managed to make I think it's a €6 million profit on him.
Sid Lowe, thank you very much. As Sid said, it was a done deal today. Alex Teixeira, of course, was heavily linked to Liverpool in the transfer window, has gone to China as well, joining the likes of Ramirez, Gervinho and Freddie Guarín. After the break, Troy Deeney has some choice words for his teammate after yesterday's scuffle with Diego Costa. Welcome back. It was Watford 0, Chelsea 0 yesterday. One of the talking points from the game was the handbags between Paredes and Costa. Troy Deeney, the Watford captain, had this to say: one little touch and everyone goes rolling around. The age we are living in, everyone pushes, everyone rolls around and sees if they can get the other person sent off. I don't particularly like it, and I'll be having a word with Paredes on our side. It's modern day football. I remember playing Sunday League, and that wouldn't have happened. You'd have been laughed at. For some reason, I want to go to Ali here first.
And you're right to do so, I would tell you. And the fact is, it's great for Troy Deeney to say what he's saying right now after the fact. However, if Diego Costa gets himself thrown out because of the actions between him and Paredes draws that red card for Diego Costa, and Watford goes on to win the game, is he saying the same thing? And that's the point that I like to make, is that this can't change based upon results. You can't get on this morality high chair and say, well, this is wrong, this is right, that's wrong, and this is right, and then suit it to your argument when results don't go your way, but then sort of turn your face the other way and not look at it when results go your way.
Stevie said you're a disgrace.
Nobody's done that.
No, but the one thing that I would say from his quote is, it's modern day football. That's it. That's the way the game is being played right now. People like it, people don't like it, doesn't matter. That's the way it's being played.
People like him, unless
we're not going back to your day, and we're not going back to his day either.
It's wrong, right? So why don't we do something to make it right?
I'm not judging it.
And what would make it right is if more people like Troy Deeney would have a word with the player.
The moral police.
Yeah. Morality.
I'll be having a word with him.
Yeah. Morality.
Listen, we had a guy called Ronnie Rosenthal. And the first time he did it, every single one of us.
That's your day, Stevie.
Was over telling him, hey, get your.
It's your day, Stevie. But let me ask you a question.
What's wrong with people trying to do it to change it today?
Let me ask you a question.
My day.
Let me ask you a question. Troy Deeney has an opportunity to draw a penalty for his team. You don't think he doesn't do it? You don't think if that means that they're going to stay up or not, you don't think he doesn't do it?
Well, listen, you're going into a whole different argument here.
No, because then
we're talking about a guy basically throwing himself to the ground.
No, because
if
then
Troy
morality...
throws himself to the ground, I'll have a problem with it. If he draws somebody in who knocks him over, it's a completely different argument. So don't start with that.
So the scope of morality changes depending on the play?
No, hey, listen.
So you can feel high morality about one thing and low morality on another thing?
You're always trying to convince people that drawing a foul is a good thing.
It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing. It's a good thing, yes.
Right. There's a difference between drawing a foul and throwing yourself in the ground.
So what is the point? All I said about Troy Deeney is that it is modern day football, and the fact is that...
Well, we need to change it.
So if Diego Costa gets himself thrown out because of whatever Paredes did, and Watford wins the game, what happens? Is Troy Deeney complaining about it?
If something's wrong, should we try and change it? Should we all have a? We all should have a responsibility.
You think it's wrong. I don't think it's
you
wrong.
think the guy throwing himself on the ground's okay?
It's their job. It's the job of the referee to figure it out.
Shush.
It's the job of the referee. That's why he's on the field.
Well,
he can
by the
figure
way,
it out.
So people like you with your attitude, that's why the game is. It's full of people that do it.
Okay, so the game is gone the way it's gone because of people like me. No.
You've just said it's okay to throw yourself in the ground.
My responsibility is to help my team win, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to help my team win. That's it. And by the way, you would have loved me. You would have loved to have me on the team because I would have helped your team win games.
I would never, in the penalty box, throw myself on the ground with nobody near me to try and help my team.
And that's your prerogative, and that's your day.
Well,
that's how the game was played back then. But it's changed, and we have to change as the game goes. We have to evolve with the game.
But what's wrong with trying to put things right? That's all I'm saying. If something's so clearly wrong, what is wrong with trying to put it right?
So hold on a second. What is wrong with doing whatever you think is necessary in order to get a result? You're a professional soccer player. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You will do whatever you need to do.
Come on, Ali. I agree with you 100% about drawing a foul. That is completely different to throwing yourself on the ground.
Okay.
Come on.
All right.
There's a complete world difference.
Fantastic. Great. We can agree on that. And I agree with you. All I'm telling you is that it's not the job of Paredes to referee the match. It's the job of the referee. And it is not the job of Troy Deeney to say what's moral and what's not, what's immoral.
Well, I tell you what, if the majority of people have got that attitude about it, then it's never going to change.
Well, the game has changed. That's a problem. The game has changed.
Yeah, and we need to change certain things of it, and that is one of them.
You want to go back, and it's not going to go back. It's going to go in a different direction. And you may not like it. I may not like it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you, it's not a morality issue where Troy Deeney can step on the high chair and say, well, that's wrong, and this is wrong. But if we win, that's right, and that's right.
All right.
What do you mean?
Do you want some as well?
I don't want anything.
It's really.
If I was you, I would move across a little bit.
What
have I done?
It's really I don't get involved in an argument, but I would like to applaud you to it. I enjoyed it.
I love seeing people shouting at each other.
It's like I feel humbled,
liberated.
Welcome back. You all right, Stevie?
Hi.
Okay.
Good.
Let's just take a look at the bottom half of the table and talk a bit of relegation. 14 matches to go as it stands. It's Villa, Sunderland and Newcastle going down. Are they the three that will be going down?
I don't think so. I think Villa's definitely gone. No surprise there. I just don't see how Norwich City can get enough points to stay up. Sunderland, are going to scrap and fight and push and pull to get out of that. Newcastle, talent-wise, I think are miles ahead of Norwich. So I think Norwich goes, I think Villa goes, and then I'm struggling for the last one. Swansea City, can they really go down? I somehow don't think Bournemouth are going to go down.
Right.
That means one of the so-called bigger teams, Newcastle or Sunderland, has to go.
Well, Sam Allardyce is well known for dragging teams out of trouble. He's done it many times. They've brought in one or two players in the transfer window, and they needed them. Stevie said Newcastle he's backed. The board have backed Steve McClaren.
They spent more money than anyone, didn't they?
They've spent a lot of money, and I just think that'll just be enough to get them out in the end. Villa have completely gone. I mean, they've been gone for a while. Norwich, I agree. I think they're going to go. I think Swansea might go.
Oh, yeah? So the two Tyneside clubs will be okay?
I don't think they're a bad side, but... No, changed my mind.
Wow. Okay. We saw that happen.
I'm going to go Sunderland as my third team.
Okay.
I think this might be
so Sunderland, Villa, Norwich.
I think Sam's just taking a job too far here.
Okay. You started off that sentence by going, Sam's known for dragging teams out.
But then halfway through it, I realised just how absolute trash this Sunderland team is.
Right. Okay. I mean, Ali, how much sleep are you? Ali loses a lot of sleep over relegation.
No, I really don't. But if only we had time. Oh yeah, it's 14 matches to go. I think they can sort themselves out, right? Too early to talk about relegation, I believe.
Hey?
Yeah, too early.
I think what we should realise as well, though, is that for people that don't know, is that what lies ahead is the biggest pot of money for these teams ever.
Because it's the bump of the TV.
It's the bump of the new TV deal that's going to kick in 2016-17 season. So it's like $150 million plus a club as a starting position just before any of the bonuses kick in. And for a lot of these teams, that's the difference between, you know, kicking on for the next few years and struggling in the Championship. It's all about money.
It's all about the money.
It's about the cash,
all
mate.
about the money. After the break, you thought about the shorts, the very short shorts. Thomas Muller.
Okay.
Apparently, this is his new style. It's easier
right.
to play.
It's a nice tan.
Changing the subject slightly now, there are some very short shorts
All right.
sported by Bayern Munich's Thomas Muller. He didn't like wearing long pants. They made him feel sleepy.
Yeah.
That'll
Okay.
keep you awake, won't it?
Is it me or is it snow on the ground?
There is snow on the ground. And when you think of short shorts, you think of Paul Mariner and his Arsenal days. Look at those.
So funny enough,
man.
it's not his. I'm attracted further up to the.
Are you, Craig? This is an interesting revelation.
The nose. I mean,
Oh, right, okay, right.
Quickly moving on.
Yeah, let's talk about Xhaka Islam's power rankings. Barcelona go to number 1 above Bayern Munich. PSG, Juventus, Real Madrid, Napoli, Atleti.
How does Napoli get behind Real Madrid
And Juventus,
and
Xhaka.
Juventus?
who they are ahead of in Serie A. Where is Xhaka?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
He's in Trinidad, of course,
Yeah.
Of course.
at Carnival. Remember, if you see any pictures of Xhaka,
Please.
send them
Oh
in.
yes.
Please.
We'll have a look at that.
Oh yes.
Now, we discussed this with Sid earlier, didn't we? The fact that it's a done deal to Scherer, the Chinese Premier League.
It's gone mad.
He was being linked to your boys.
Aye.
He's gone to China to get away from them. Just get him off further. Get away from
Listen,
Liverpool.
he's not worth 50 million euros.
When he's going to Liverpool, he was. Oh, yeah, he's a
No,
great
well, that's
player.
why he's not going, because the price was too high.
Yeah.
I wish they would take Balotelli. Any chance? Somebody watching this? Come and get Balotelli. 20 million will do.
This could be a game changer.
By the way, Balotelli's not at Liverpool, and they're still
They
hopeless.
still own him.
I know that.
So the money they get for him,
Well, they're not gonna get
they
any
put
money from
towards the
him.
team to get better.
Yeah, they won't get a pair of shoes for him.
But he was worth a gamble. And he,
And I stand by that. Because that's what a gamble is. Fickle.
no, it's not.
You're thick. You're talking to a brick wall.
No, it's not. If you back a horse at a good price and it still loses, it's still a loser.
But that's the gamble.
No, but you lose. How can it be worth the gamble?
I'm talking to myself. Honestly, one of these days, you're going to get it.
But you're wrong. You're wrong.
Just do it today.
No, not today.
Just
Not
today.
today. We've got
No,
things to do.
Come on.
It's gone mad in
You're
China,
not
though,
talk.
isn't it?
It has.
Changing
Oscar
the subject.
apparently had
You're all talk.
Chelsea turned down a £60 million bid for Oscar.
Money, baby. Money.
Money.
Oscar's been one of the better players. I
Yes.
think.
Okay.
All right.
Until tomorrow. Bye-bye.